So hello everyone, my name is Marin Naruse and I'm 20 years old and I go to a university in Tokyo. I'm a student at Keio University in Japan, and yeah, thank you very much for having me as a guest today. It is such an honor. And if you have any question about me, please ask me after this presentation. So today I'd like to give a presentation about what is shima-uta in Amami Islands. I think most of you don't know about Amami Islands that much, so I'll explain now. Amami Islands are the southern islands in Japan and located between Kyushu and Okinawa. And there are 8 islands that are Amami Oshima, which is the main island, and I grew up. Kikaijima, Kakeroma, Ukejima, Yorojima, Tokunoshima, Okinoerabujima, Yoronjima. I think my mom is here and she's unmuted. Okay, let's ignore. Okay, and the climate of Amami is subtropical, and there are many natural treasures of Japan, such as the beautiful bird called rurikakesu, and yeah, which is rurikakesu inhabits only in Amami Oshima and Tokunoshima, and also there is Amami rabbit, which has not changed its shape since ancient times. So just like this, Amami is known for its very beautiful nature and was registered as a World Natural Heritage Site by UNESCO in July this year. Also, because of COVID-19, there are less numbers of tourists to Amami Islands today. Amami is now trying to protect the beautiful nature while also getting more attention from outside the island. Okay, so I'm gonna text to my mom because she's unmuted. Okay, back to my presentation. So surrounded by its beautiful nature, people in Amami have went through the history of invasion by Ryukyu and Satsuma and US forces in each era. And Amami's history can be divided into 3 eras. First of all, there was Naha period. In 1429, the Ryukyu kingdom was founded and they expanded into Amami Islands. Ryukyu kingdom is the strong kingdom that was founded in today's Okinawa Islands. And after that, in Yamato period, Satsuma clan, today's Kagoshima prefecture, conquered Ryukyu and they started to rule the islands. Finally, in American period, Amami Islands were separated from Japan and fell under the direct American control. So especially when Amami was under the control of Satsuma clan, today's Kagoshima, it was very hard because people in Amami were forced to harvest sugarcane and give brown sugar to Satsuma clan no matter what happens. And if they don't do that, they will be punished. But even during these hard times, Amami people found their joys in singing shima-uta with the instrument called Sanshin. I will show you Sanshin later. Okay, and okay, now I'm going to explain about shima-uta. So when you hear the word shima-uta, most people think that it's Okinawa's music because many Okinawan J-pop songs use the word shima-uta in their lyrics. But actually, shima-uta is the traditional music only unique to Amami Islands. Also, shima means island in Japanese, but in Amami Island, it also means community. So it is more correct to call shima-uta the song of each community or village rather than the song of the island. For example, even if the song is the same, the way it is sung will change in other village in Amami. Also, there are two main ways to sing shima-uta. The way of singing in the southern part of Amami is called hige-uta, which requires a lot of kind of intonation because in the southern part of Amami, there are mountain roads with many ups and downs. So they sing in a way that requires a lot of intonation. And in northern part of Amami, there are more like flat roads. So they sing in a more elegant way compared to southern people. And it is called kasauta in northern areas. Also in shima-uta, there are no musical scores. So when you learn how to sing shima-uta, you just have to sit in front of your teacher and imitate how she or he sings. Or you can just imitate your friends or somebody who is good at shima-uta. Also, since the lyrics are naturally made in people's lives, songwriters of shima-uta are still unknown, and lyrics are mostly about life lessons, love story, dedication to nature deity, and hate for Satsuma clan. Okay, next. So shima-uta is still very rooted in Amami people's culture and lives. There is a game called Utta-asobi that when one sings, the other must answer. Like when one sings, they sing back to him. And the one have to choose and sing the most appropriate song in reply to other songs. So here's a video of Utta-asobi. It's quite long, but I hope you enjoy watching this.
若い時が一番いいよね。
あれから圧勝なんていうはねた
阿蘇の海で魚がある魚が跳ねたよって作り歌作ってるわけ。
圧勝の上なんていうはね
Okay, so that was Utta-asobi. So as you might noticed, we all sang in different ways, even though it is the same song. It is because we all are from different areas of Amami, such as as I explained, from South area or North area. So I think that diversity is also one of the most interesting points of Shimauta. So this game, Utta-asobi, is a very old style of Shimauta performance. On the other hand, okay. On the other hand, in order to pass down Shimauta, Shimauta competitions have been held since the 1970s. Accordingly, the way of singing Shimauta has changed for stage performance from old style Utta-asobi. In short, it has changed from music to enjoy with everyone, from to music to fascinate or show. But some people, especially older people in Amami, say that Shimauta today is not the real Shimauta because it has changed. But in my opinion, it has to be changed to fit with the times if we want Shimauta to be passed down. So now I'd like you to watch my music video of Yoisura Bushi, which is also one of the most famous and popular song in Amami as Shimauta. And obviously I don't sing in the old style, but this is also how we sing Shimauta in Amami today. Yeah.
いつもぎる腕においすらいつもぎる腕
Okay, so thank you. That was my music video of Shimauta. The song is called Yoisurabushi. And as I explained in the past, Utta-asobi was like more normal way to enjoy Shimauta. But because of the existence of Shimauta competition, we started singing along just I did in the music video. So it's a new style of Shimauta. And also it is said that in the past, women were not allowed to play Sanshin. It was men's things. So it changed with the times. So that's also interesting point. Okay, so finally, I'd like to talk about why I sing Shimauta. So I think Shimauta is the voice of Amami people in the past. In fact, in Amami, there is a famous saying. It is, you cannot talk about Amami without talking about Shimauta. So by listening to it, not only I can learn the history of Shimauta, but also the life lessons I need to hear. It's like a textbook of life for me. So I am very grateful to our ancestors who have passed on this beautiful culture from generation to generation. And as a Shimauta singer, I hope that I can do the same for the next younger generation. So that was all for my presentation. And if you have questions, please ask me.
Wow, thank you very much, Marin, for beautiful presentations and beautiful short clip video performance of Himauta. It was very amazing.
Thank
So,
you.
if
I
anyone
have my,
oh, please.
sorry, I have my Sanshin now, so I will show you.
Wow, great.
This is my Sanshin case. I'm going to change my back screen mode so that you can see Sanshin more clear. So this is Sanshin. It's very similar to the Sanshin in Okinawa, but it's quite different. one of the difference is this string. So in Amami, women are said to be very spiritual animal. So we sing in a higher note, which is appropriate for women. But in Okinawa, they have very strong men culture. So they sing in a more like lower note. So that is why in Amami's Sanshin, the string is thinner so that we can sing in higher note. But in Okinawa's instrument, the string is more like thick for the lower note to play. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Marin, so it's beautiful. You know, like
Thank you.
I mean, it's great without saying anything, you know. First of all, but what I'm interested in the most is that the relation between your singing and Sanshin. You know, like if you could, I already can sense like from your like video, and also like you're talking about like, you know, the history about like from, you know, different parts of region. So then like maybe you can talk a little bit more about how do you feel about that, like the relationship between when you play Sanshin and also when you singing. So what is kind of methods, you know, like what is kind of like that makes you doing this?
So about the relation of shima-uta, the music and this instrument is, I think people in Yamami, they are more focused on singing rather than playing this instrument, because Sanshin it came from China, and it was like yesterday it came to Amami. Amami people used to sing with the back music of nature, like the singing of birds or the sound of waves. So yeah, that is a relation of Shimauta and Sanshin. But when I joined the competition, I play Sanshin by myself because it's easier for me to focus on my singing. But the other players, some of them want to focus on just singing, so they prepare somebody to play Sanshin for them. So it really depends on people.
Thank you. I think I just I think that's great answers, and I just want to focus more about you actually. Like, how do you feel like about yourself? Because of course I can see, you know, like as you explained very clearly about the, you know, the history, but for you yourself, like how do you feel, like how do you see any connection between, like, you know, singing, like maybe like just for example like melodies, lines that goes through the instrument, you know, like kind of connection in the sense of performance, you know, like as your performer. So just for you personally.
Yeah, so in Shimata there are more than 60 songs and countless lyrics, and they are mostly about, as I explained, there are many life lessons. So so for me, singing Shimata is, I feel like I'm listening to the voice from the past. So for me, it's like textbook for me. And yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
Yusan.
Well, thank you so much, Marin, for this wonderful presentation and such a beautiful singing of your videos. And also Utta-asobi. I have never actually seen the Utta-asobi, the improvisation thing happening, with the video and live. So that was very interesting. I guess one of the things that I'm really attracted to Shima-uta in the first place is, like you mentioned, the diversity, like when people talk about, like, it's kind of a common, mistake or common sort of a stereotype when, people talk about like music from East, let's say, people would think about, pentatonic scale or whatever the sort of stereotype things, although, Japanese music has a distinct characteristic in Chinese music and, Thai music, but even so, within Japanese music, there are so much diversity, from what Sean played, gagaku or honkyoku, which developed throughout in the Edo period or in the samurai area. And yet we have this shima-uta that was, developed in a small island in southern island in Japan. Even still, there are still distinct differences between Okinawa music and Amami Oshima music. And within Amami Oshima, there's still differences between, and South and East. So it's just that, the idea of diversity is very interesting. And also, like you said, playing Shima-uta or Shima-uta has a life, right? Like from the past. So like, in order to understand the culture and the society that used to be there, I think Shima-uta is such an important, part of the culture to really understand the past, to really understand the people, to really understand this southern island in Japan. So yeah, that's like something that I really got attracted, from your talk, and since I met you, and I'm so grateful for that. I guess one quick question for you, Marin, is, you've been trying to promote the beauty of Shima-uta, right? Like, what do you see yourself in the future? Like, what kind of things that you're planning to do in the future with this instrument, Sanshin and Shima-uta?
I'm not very sure, like clearly, but I'm hoping to collaborate with many traditional musical instruments around the world so that Shima-uta will be known by more people. And I think this, so I was not born in Amami, and I am not native like Amamian, but I do think that this culture needs more attention. So I really hope to collaborating with more artists around the world. Yes. And so you mentioned about the diversity of Shima-uta, and there's a like funny, interesting story, which is, so if one person sings in Amami, they soon know that he or she is from the southern part or northern part by his way of singing. So that is also interesting. And also in the competition, we all sing in totally different ways. So it's very hard for judges to decide who is a winner. So you have to be really stand out in the competition. I mean, Ryo-san once came to Amami and watched our competition. So how was it?
I mean, it was extraordinarily interesting. Like you said, every person, every singer had different style of singing, different, sort of technique, vocal technique, and different sort of texture in Sanshin playing as well. And, those who have never been to Amami Island and those who have never been to the competition is divided into the kind of the levels. It's not actually levels, it's actually the age group. So like if you listen to the, the singers from younger, singers, it is totally different sounding and singing than older people. So, it was very interesting to sort of hear the differences of singing and playing, depending on the age, but they have their own, sort of distinct characteristics and, such a beauty in, from the singing, like, Marin and like her age versus like, people who are like our grandparents' age. So yeah, it's again, like it's a diversity, and that was just such a beauty to see and witness in that competition.
Yeah, there are three. I think there are three part. なんか部門ってなんて言いますか?
Like the level, the genre, yeah, level.
In Shima-uta competition, and even kids join the competition, and it's so cute that they hold Sanshin that is so much bigger than their body, and they play so hardly. So it's so cute. I think we have more time now, so maybe I can perform one song.
Yeah, please.
It's very, so I'm in Tokyo right now, so it's very difficult to practice in Tokyo because of my neighbor problem. But I'm going to close my window now. So. Okay, so I am going to sing Asabana Bushi, which is a greeting song in Amami Island. So Asabana Bushi is always sung in the first part of performance as greeting, and there are many lyrics and it's so hard to decide which lyrics to sing, but today is such a I had this beautiful opportunity to meet with you all, so I sing in the lyrics that wishes good fortune to everyone here. Okay, so Asabana Bushi. Thank you. Yeah, that was Yoisurabushi. So Shimauta is sung in Amami dialect. So it's totally different from normal Japanese. So even Japanese cannot understand Amami's dialect.
Thank you very much, Marin, for a beautiful presentation. Really, thank you.
Thank you.